Over the past couple of weeks, we've covered a couple of really unique projects. The first being the likes of Ore and the unique mining mechanism that's involved with it alongside of its tokenomics. We recently also talked about Midnight and a lot of tutorials on how to mine the Night token, a privacy project on Cardano, and the opportunities where you can use your current PC, how you could use your cell phone, and even using a VPS, using someone else's computer resources. Well, in today's video, we're going to be looking at a project called YAM. Now, YAM is a really unique protocol in a couple of different ways. First of all, they won the #1 gamer studio or the gamer developer award in 2025 for the infrastructure that they have already built out. It's super impressive. On top of that, they recently signed a partnership deal with the likes of AVAX, building on AVAX, which probably has the biggest amounts of and the largest amounts of gaming studios and games within its ecosystem. And on top of that, the infrastructure that they're getting ready to launch. There's just a lot of really exciting things behind this protocol. We're going to talk about what YAM does, this specific device, how it works, how it runs, and the yield that it generates for providing infrastructure for these games. That said, if you're new here, my name is Alex. Talk about crypto news, crypto passive income. If you enjoy content like that, consider subscribing. You enjoyed this video, smash up the like. Without further ado, let's end the video. All right, so as we dive into this video about YAM, there's really two main areas that I want to focus on. The first being, what is it? What does it do? What makes it different and unique in the crypto space? And then secondly, talk about the main methods that you can get involved. There is an ongoing airdrop campaign. TGE is right around the corner. And we're gonna talk about how you can use your idle computer resources to be able to run a node for the likes of YAM, contribute to its ecosystem and its infrastructure, decentralize the network, and be able to be incentivized for that. So essentially YAM, in many ways, if you're gonna try to make any type of comparison with a project you maybe are familiar with, Aether would probably be the closest type of comparison, but Aether has kind of moved away from gaming to a certain degree, and they're more focused on AI. And when you think about kind of the whole setup with the Aether Edge, it is a hardware device, but it is extremely expensive. You're looking at $1,000 plus, but there was a very lucrative, for the period of time, those who got in early, a very lucrative reward plan put together and the tokenomics for that. Now, Aether, like I said, is moving towards the likes of AI. YAM is very focused on gaming. In fact, they signed a partnership with the likes of Avalanche not too long ago, and they are going to be partnering up with the Avalanche gaming ecosystem, which is essentially just a win-win for the likes of YAM, especially as they won the best startup at Gamescom in 2025. So huge award for a up-and-coming Web3 focused protocol. And as we take a look at kind of the whole idea of what this is and what it does, is essentially decentralizes the infrastructure for cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is becoming very popular. A lot more games are being more designed for this type of infrastructure. So those who are providing and building that infrastructure out ahead of time are going to be the winners. And so this is something that is very appealing for anyone, reach anyone instantly, anywhere. Always on decentralized pixel streaming infrastructure, scales at 20x lower cost because of zero reliance on these massive data centers that are not only costly, but also very difficult. So this is kind of the next stage of gaming. This is what YAM is building out, and it is only possible due to individuals like myself and others watching this video that get involved and decentralize this network. As YAM already has multiple partnerships, like I said, they also signed an agreement with the likes of Avalanche. So let's talk about the actual main focus and the core concept of YAM, and that is turning your idle PC or gaming computer into a form of, according to them, passive income. So sharing your unused computing power, joint operators powering the next generation of cloud gaming. Now, here's the thing, right? There's been a ton of projects out there that have allowed you to use your resources as far as being able to provide your resources when you look at IONET to earn IONET tokens. You look at other protocols out there that have allowed you to do that as well, whether that was for the likes of gaming, whether that was renting your GPU in general, like so Chlor, or in instances where you're providing AI inferences to certain protocols, building large language models. So there's a lot of protocols out there in the crypto space that allow you to use and utilize your unused resources for earning tokens. Now, Yam is doing that, but they're doing it a step above everybody else, because this essentially converts your entire PC into optimizing for this gaming infrastructure, which is very different compared to a lot of other protocol approaches. And why would someone choose something like the Nano, the hardware device I showed at the intro of the video, compared to other protocols? Well, there is the real income. You're turning your idle power into stable profit. We're going to look at what that actually means, the ROI aspect that they talk about. It is a plug and play. The actual setup for this was very simple. In fact, it took about 5 to 10 minutes. And essentially, at this point, I just have it running right now on a secondary computer. We're going to pull up the dashboard so we can look at that as well. And like I said, it is a plug and play. So it is a secured boot SSD. So you don't have to download anything. You don't have to do anything, provide Windows defense blocker removal and stuff like that for some of these protocols that require to download software. This is literally a plug and play. There's a lot of really unique aspects to it, and then they do have a calculation aspect of comparing your GPU earnings. And the thing I want to go ahead and iterate is this is going to vary differently compared to everyone, and depending on the type of computer that you have. This not only depends on if you can even run this node. So that's the big thing that you see a lot of times in protocols, is almost everyone's eligible because they want as many people to be involved. What's very different with the likes of Yam, there are very strict criteria to be eligible for running a node, because you have so much latency. You have to have a decent GPU, have a decent CPU. You just have to have certain things that are going to be compatible to handle the load. And for some people that run this test, we're going to show you how to do this in just a second. If it comes back with not available, there could be a couple of reasons why. We'll kind of I'll give you a couple of reasons if you're running through this test of why it may pop up. Maybe giving you a this rig is not compatible. We'll talk about that, but it always gives you a reason why. And now that being said, it's also going to vary, like I said, about the amounts of licenses that you have, because running just one node each node comes with a license. Now, that said, if you have a more powerful type of computer where you can handle a lot more load, you can run multiple licenses all on one computer. We'll look at how that breaks out as well. But I want to just kind of showcase how this works, how this looks, because in my personal opinion, before you get one of these devices, because you can go and get one of these devices in euros, $369, and kind of similar price as far as USD. But I want to make sure that before you go and just randomly buy a hardware device, is check your compatibility. So what you can do is click Run Rig Check. And what this does is it downloads and checks your compatibility to actually run one of these nodes. And it's gonna check a few things. You're gonna see have this pop up, and this is only gonna be checking your compatibility. And at this point, this is not gonna be running any other software. All it does is check compatibility, and that is all it does. Nothing from Yam actually operates through this checker. After this checker is done, it's going to give me some analytics, and it's going to give me some data behind my computer and what it's capable of doing. So before you get one of these hardware devices, do this rig check. I highly recommend it that you do it, because it can also play a role into, even though you are compatible, even though you can run a node, can you run 2 or 3 licenses? And that can play a role into what you're able to do and the reward aspect of participating in running a actual node. So it's going to go ahead and scan this. So based off of what it's showing here, is that this rig is eligible. So it gives me some of the details here. I have a NVIDIA GeForce 3070. This is a Founders Edition. So it only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Upload speed 39 megabytes per second, and latency 33 milliseconds. So here's the thing, right? This is plugged into Ethernet. I actually tested this on another computer where I had it connected to Wi-Fi. And I'll tell you what's going to happen is it will tell you your rig is not eligible. If you're going to be running one of these, you do need to have it connected to Ethernet. So if it pops up and says, hey, your latency is bad or your upload speed is bad, it's more than likely the fact that you're connected via Wi-Fi and not via Ethernet. So probably a very easy hurdle to be able to get around. Now, the other thing here as well is you can see your rig is eligible. Here's what your hardware could earn for you. And it shows here as $53 a month, considering the fact that the Nano Node Runner is $349. Now, that said, each Node Runner already comes with a license. So that is completely free. And depending on the amounts of licenses, you can technically have up to 8 licenses, but those are sold separately. You can't add more than one currently, but this would allow you to go through and see, you know, for me, I am max 1 license, so I can't run multiple all on this computer, which is perfectly fine. I actually have, in fact, this computer, this is the one that I have running right now, that is currently connected. So this is running a 2080 Ti, and this is actually one of my test computers that I converted solely to participate in Yam's network, and I have a mini PC doing some of my other random stuff. So this computer, this GPU is going to be set aside for Yam. And as you can see here, I have 2 licenses that are compatible. The 2080 Ti is still a very, very powerful GPU. And you can see overall some of the details on here as far as current usage, temperatures, all that details all through here. Now, obviously, this is going to change a lot more once the mainnet actually occurs. So a lot of exciting things. Like I said, this is the current dashboard, and this is where you want to go. I'll leave a link to this down below so you can go and check your PC first before considering getting involved in this protocol. But it does show this is pretty accurate. I have a 3070. It is going to be compatible with just 1 license. And you're going to see the ROI according to the website being here. A 3080 is going to have a little bit better. I don't even know what 5090s could look like, but those are probably going to be up there as far as 5+ licenses in general. This is where it is currently. Once I get some more details as far as like a coupon code or something like that from the likes of Fresh Miners, see if I can get any of those details. But either way, I'll leave a link to them down below either way. But let's talk about the actual license itself. I want to break this down. They have this broken down further in the docs themselves. So if you do want to go and check out the difference with, you know, what is the Nano, how does this work, make sure your computer is compatible. So you can see here the GPU 2080 or higher with high VRAM to maximize node capacity. So my 2080 Ti has higher VRAM than my 3070 Founders. Why I'm able to run more licenses. And then better to have an Intel i5 or i7. I may upgrade the i3. This is just the one that kind of came with this kit that I bought. And so I may upgrade it to an i5 further down the road. I've got 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is perfect, but I may need to upgrade it to 32 gigabytes. Like I said, this was just a test rig that I'm slowly converting specifically to the likes of Yam. It is connected directly through Ethernet. I'm getting about 500 Mbps as far as the download. Upload is about 100. So it's not too bad. But in the end, you know, these are some of the details. You can check it out here. And this is going to be the biggest thing as far as the node licenses. So you can have the maximum possible number of licenses out of your PC is 8. But that does depend on your computer, your compatibility, your VRAM. Like I showed in my 3070, it's only able to be running 1. So do be mindful of that. A couple of things as far as what is going on right now with the likes of Yam, and that is the Yam Airdrop. So we talked about the Nano, we talked about the hardware device, and talked about the the incentivization aspect of converting your PC, there is a completely free way to participate in the likes of Yam and its growing ecosystem. So there is a loyalty program for the Yam airdrop. There's different quests that you can participate in. These are super simple. I'll leave a link to this down below as well, so you can go and check this out. You essentially, go follow them on X, join them on Discord. You can invite friends as well. I'll leave a link down below. You check in every day to get more points, post about Yam, and then you can also get a Yam Elite badge based off of different collaborations. So I have 105 points. I'm trying to get this a little bit higher. So feel free to use that referral link down below. But if you want to get a good broad overview of Yam and how they've come to where they are today, there's a very amazing overall Medium post put together as far as how Yam has gotten to where it is today, alongside of their different co-founders, CEOs, CTOs, etc. So that said, the last thing I want to highlight is obviously this partnership with the likes of AVAX is huge. A lot of games are building on AVAX. We've seen the likes of Off the Grid, which is a super popular game, did very well on 2025. Most people that played the game actually didn't know it was built on top of or was integrated with the likes of AVAX ecosystem. But fantastic success. There's going to be a lot more games, and I think the success that we've seen with Off the Grid going to be coming to other games likes of Shrapnel. I think there's going to be really good games, and this is only going to broaden the scope and broaden the overall gaming ecosystem on AVAX, and that much more for the likes of Yam. So it's a win-win type of collaboration. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the likes of Yam. Is this the first time you've heard about the project? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll leave the links for you to do your own research. Join the campaign so you can participate in the airdrop. All that and more. Stay tuned for the TGE that is going to be around the corner. That said, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like. You enjoy content like this, consider subscribing. Until next time, guys, stay invested.